Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about the LA Clippers off-season. What an off-season they've had. They've had a number of acquisitions which have significantly improved their squad, and we're going to be talking about them today. Let's go. First of all, Bradley Beal. So what Bradley Beal gives you is elite and efficient scoring. He never had the greatest of times with the Phoenix Suns, but he's always been efficient for them. He's a 50-40-90 type of guy. He's an unbelievable scorer. He scored over 30 points per game for 2 seasons. That's an unbelievable feat. He's a great three-point shooter, so can space the floor for guys like Harden and Kawhi when they're going to run their ISOs. He gives the Clippers another elite scoring option and depth, because there's going to be some games Harden might be out, Kawhi might be out, right? And when they're out, Bill will take a higher load offensively and carry the team on certain nights. And that's exactly what the LA Clippers have needed for the last couple of years. He's an underrated defender as well. I think people scrutinize his defending for no reason. People think he's trash, but he's a very capable defender. He has some highlight plays defensively. He can hold his own. And for the deal that the LA Clippers have got this guy for, it's an absolute bargain. People look down on Bradley Beal because he was earning a max contract for the Phoenix Suns. But now he's on a very cheap, team-friendly deal. And for his production, the LA Clippers have got an absolute steal. Next up, CP3, Chris Paul. I mean, as a Clippers fan, this must be beautiful to see. One of your franchise legends returning and competing for a championship. What Chris Paul offers, I don't need to go too deep into this. I think every one of you guys know. He's got high basketball IQ, provides elite playmaking, and for a guy who's over 40 years old, he's a very durable player. I mean, last year he played 82 games for the San Antonio Spurs at 40 years old. So this guy can give you durability, and most importantly, he can run that secondary unit, and he takes the burden off James Harden. I think last year James Harden had way too much responsibility, way too much workload to set up the offense, be the secondary scoring option, sometimes the primary scoring option. Offensively the load was too much, and having a guy like CP3 who can share that load with James Harden, that's going to be extremely important for James Harden to preserve his energy for the playoffs, and also to provide more smart playmaking. Another underrated move that I don't really hear anyone talking about is the acquisition of John Collins. He's an athletic player and he's a lob threat. We especially saw this for the Atlanta Hawks. His and Trae Young's connection was unbelievable. Him and Trae Young led the Atlanta Hawks to an Eastern Conference Finals, I believe, in 2021. He can defend very well. He's very versatile, can switch. He's a very good three-point shooter. For a four-man, he's as good as any shooter out there. I mean, last year, I think he shot almost 40% from three, and he's a very good rebounder. So if the Clippers need to get extra possessions, this guy can crash the glass, get some offensive rebounds, gain some extra possessions, and he also can defend the defensive boards as well. So again, this guy is a very good basketball player, can do a lot of things, and he provides athleticism and defense that the Clippers need for sure. So this is an unbelievable acquisition for the LA Clippers. And the final acquisition I'm going to be talking about is Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez, he's not the player he used to be 2, 3, 4 years ago, but he's still a very good NBA player. He's a great three-point shooter, can space the floor for the Clippers, especially when, Kawhi, Harden and Beal go to work, right? Defenses can't overhelp when Brook Lopez is on the court because he's an elite three-point shooter. So you can't overhelp and sag off Brook Lopez because they're just going to find him and he's going to knock down the three. So he's going to give more space for James Harden, Kawhi and Bill to work with. He's an elite shot blocker. I think he averaged around 2 blocks per game last season, and he's still one of the best rim protectors in the league. And for a backup big, this guy's as good as it gets. Brook Lopez, for certain matchups, he's going to be redundant. But for a lot of matchups, he can be very useful, for sure. Against like a Denver Nuggets, he's another big you can put on Nikola Jokic, right, to wear him down. So I really like this pickup for the LA Clippers. So how are the Clippers going to look heading into next season? So their starting lineup is James Harden, Bradley Beal, Kawhi Leonard, John Collins and Zubac. James Harden, we know what he's going to bring. Elite scoring and elite playmaking. Bradley Beal, he's a pure scorer, going to provide efficiency. Kawhi Leonard, three-level scorer, efficiency, unbelievable defender. John Collins, again, a lob threat, a versatile defender, a great three-point shooter, just a well-rounded basketball player. And then Zubac, an elite defender. Last year, he was a DPOY candidate, gives you unbelievable rebounding ability. His pick and roll with James Harden is so dynamic, one of the best pick and roll duos in the NBA. And in terms of another combination, that James Harden-John Collins connection is going to be very good to see next season, right? We saw John Collins with Trae Young for the Atlanta Hawks. They had a really good connection. John Collins was a great lob threat in that system, right? And I believe the Atlanta Hawks made it to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021. So, look, James Harden and John Collins, that's going to be a lethal duo as well for sure. And a lot of people might question how Bradley Beal is going to fit into the LA Clippers system because remember, Bradley Beal has failed as a third star for the Phoenix Suns. But one thing people are underestimating is that all three of these guys have different roles. At Phoenix, the three superstars did the exact same thing. Their skill sets were the same, whereas James Harden in the system is a facilitator. Kawhi Leonard is more of a mid-range scorer and also more of a lockdown defender. And then Bradley Beal, he just needs to focus on scoring. So I believe these three guys complement each other way better than, the last big three in Phoenix. And then talking about the second unit, Chris Paul, Bogey, Derrick Jones Jr., Batum, and Brook Lopez. I really like this lineup. Chris Paul as a secondary playmaker, facilitator for the secondary unit, that's elite. Bogey will provide you spacing. Derrick Jones Jr. is one of the best wing defenders in the NBA. Batum is an unbelievable defender. And then Brook Lopez, great rim protector. So I really like that second unit. And you can't also forget about Chris Dunn as well, one of the best point of attack defenders in the NBA and one of the best defenders in the NBA. Like, on the perimeter, this guy's a nightmare to deal with. So the Clippers are as stacked as ever, right? This is an unbelievable chance for them to aim for an NBA title. I don't think there's any team as deep as the LA Clippers right now. I can only count with one hand how many teams are better than them, if that. If they are going to win a championship, this is the year. And if you're an LA Clippers fan, you guys better be excited because your team is unbelievable. I'm a Milwaukee Bucks fan, and your second unit might be better than my starting lineup. That's all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, share, and peace.